In the peaceful meadows of Willowbarrow, everyone knew one thing for sure. Rabbits were fast. Lightning fast. Blurry fast. Faster dash than dash you dash can dash, say dash carrot dash cake fast. They zoomed through clover fields, leaving tiny dust clouds in their wake. They were the champions of speed, the masters of motion. All the rabbits, that is, except for one. Her name was Tilly. Now, Tilly wasn't slow because she couldn't run quickly. Oh, she could. If she wanted to, she could zip from one side of the meadow to the other in a flash. But the thing was, she just didn't want to. Tilly loved strolling at a gentle, leisurely pace. She enjoyed listening to the soft whisper of the breeze as it rustled through the tall grass. She adored watching tiny ladybugs perform their delicate dances on bright yellow dandelions. For Tilly, the world wasn't a racetrack. It was a beautiful garden meant to be savored, one slow step at a time. Every year, Willowbarrow hosted two grand events that brought all the animals together. The first was the Great Fast Race. This was the highlight for the rabbits. They would train for weeks, stretching their powerful legs and practicing their explosive starts. And, of course, they always won, taking home the coveted Golden Carrot Trophy. The second event was the complete opposite, the Slowpoke Race. This was a competition where snails, turtles, and sleepy sloths took immense pride in being the slowest of the slow. They celebrated patience, steadiness, and the art of moving as if time itself had decided to take a nap. This year, however, something was different. Tilly, with a calm and quiet confidence, made a huge announcement at the town square. "I'm entering the Slowpoke Race," she declared. A hush fell over the meadow. Every single rabbit gasped, their long ears standing straight up in surprise. Every snail blinked their little eye stalks in disbelief. A wise old turtle named Sheldon nearly tipped right over onto his back. It was unheard of. A rabbit in a slow race? It was like a fish entering a tree-climbing contest. Tilly's brother, Hopper, a blur of white fur and boundless energy, bounded over to her. "But Tilly," he said, bewildered, "rabbits don't do slow races. We're built for speed. It's who we are." Tilly simply smiled and gave a determined little wiggle of her whiskers. "You do fast races, Hopper," she replied gently. "I do slow ones," and with that her mind was made up. She was going to be the first rabbit ever to compete for the title of the slowest in Willowbarrow. At first, the other slow racers were a bit puzzled. A rabbit wanting to be slow? But when they saw the earnest look in Tilly's eyes, they welcomed her with open, albeit very slow, arms. "We'll teach you everything we know," said Tortoise Tim, a kind old soul who moved at the approximate speed of melting ice cream on a warm summer day. "It's an honor to have you." Their leader, a wise and patient snail named Sarah, slid up beside Tilly. "Lesson 1, she said, her voice barely a whisper, "is patience. The most important lesson of all." And so Tilly's training for slowness began. It was much harder than she expected. She practiced walking one paw at a time, very, very slowly. She tried to imagine she was a cloud, drifting lazily across a bright blue sky. But her rabbit instincts were strong. Sometimes, without even thinking, she'd accidentally hop a little too fast, covering in a second what took Tortoise Tim a full minute. Other times, she'd get distracted by a buzzing bee and bound ahead, only to remember she was supposed to be crawling along at a snail's pace. It was frustrating. "This is impossible," she sighed one afternoon, after accidentally zipping past the entire training group. But the slow animals didn't laugh or get upset. They just offered their gentle encouragement. "You're thinking too much about not being fast," said Snail Sarah wisely. "Just think about enjoying the journey. Notice the tiny details." Tortoise Tim nodded his wrinkled head. "Every slow step is a victory in itself," he added. Their support was like a warm, comforting blanket. Slowly but surely, Tilly started to get the hang of it. She learned to control her powerful legs, to quiet her racing heart, and to truly embrace the peaceful rhythm of the slow world. She learned to feel the texture of every single blade of grass beneath her paws. Finally, the big day arrived. The air in Willowbarrow buzzed with excitement for the Slowpoke Race. All the competitors lined up at the starting line, a beautiful ribbon of woven morning glory vines. There were the snails, shimmering in the sun. There were the turtles, their shells polished and gleaming. There were the sloth siblings, looking wonderfully sleepy and relaxed. And right there among them, standing tall and proud, was Tilly the rabbit. The announcer, a wise old owl, cleared his throat. The starting signal for this race wasn't a loud bang, but a gentle drum so soft it was basically a soft thump, a heartbeat for the meadow. Ready, set, slew, ooh-oh. The race began. Snail Sarah eased forward, leaving a silvery trail. Tortoise Tim inched along like a drifting pebble in a calm stream. And Tilly, she moved one tiny paw step at a time. The crowd held its collective breath. The rabbits sat in stunned silence, their eyes wide. They had never seen a rabbit move with such deliberate, graceful slowness. The snails, however, beamed with pride. She was one of them now. Halfway through the race, a beautiful blue butterfly, mistaking her for a statue, landed right on Tilly's nose. In any other race, she would have twitched or hopped, scaring it away. But not today. She didn't flinch. She didn't even blink. She just smiled, a slow, gentle, peaceful smile, and let the butterfly rest for a moment before it fluttered away. In that moment, she wasn't just a rabbit pretending to be slow. She truly felt the peace of slowness in her heart. It took a wonderfully long time, but at last the racers began to approach the finish line. The sun had journeyed across the sky, painting the clouds in shades of orange and pink. Tilly wasn't the absolute slowest. That honor went to Sloth Sam, who had managed to beat her by taking a refreshing 30-minute nap right in the middle of the racecourse. But she wasn't the fastest either. She finished third slowest, an achievement that, in the world of the slowpoke race, was incredibly respectable. As she took her final, deliberate step across the finish line, the crowd erupted in cheers. It was the loudest cheer of the day, louder than any cheer for the fast race. They weren't cheering because she had won or lost. They were cheering because she had dared to be different, because she had stayed true to herself. Her brother Hopper ran up, not to boast about his own speed, but to give her a huge hug. "I didn't get it before, Tilly," he said, "but I do now." "You were amazing." Snail Sarah slid up to her, her eyes twinkling with pride. "Tilly," she said, "you brought something truly special to our race today." Tilly tilted her head. "Speed?" She guessed. Sarah let out a tiny, bubbly giggle. "No, silly," she said. "You brought heart." And so, from that day forward, Willowbarrow changed. They still celebrated the fastest rabbit and the slowest snail, but they also celebrated everyone in between. They learned that there's no right or wrong way to run your race. And every year, a little rabbit with patient paws and a big, gentle smile would return to the starting line of the slowpoke race, not to win a prize, but to enjoy every single slow, peaceful, and wonderful moment. Thank you so much for watching Tilly's story. If you believe in being true to yourself, just like Tilly, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from our little world. See you next time.